Now, when you buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1, you'll get Sonic 2 absolutely free. Sonic 2 handles stubborn stains, embarrassing bald spots, no problem. It even slices and dices, makes thousands of julienne fries. But wait, you can play it too. This free Sonic 2 is a $54.99 value. You get 2 Sonics for the price of 1. Sonic 2 fits easily into any tackle box. Made from a space-age polymer plastic for years of family fun. And pets love it too. Buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1 and get Sonic 2 free.
Act now. Wiener Dog Sweater sold separately.
For those of you who watched my Sonic 1 review, you already know I grew up with Sonic 1 and 2 as a kid. But if we're talking about sheer hours spent, Sonic 2 was the one I played the ever-loving heck out of. I loved this game as a kid, because it basically took everything Sonic 1 did and made it better. Better speed, better level design, and of course, Tails. This is easily one of my most played Genesis titles, right up there with Mortal Kombat, Golden Axe, and Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures. But we'll save those for another time. Now, the way this game was developed is actually pretty interesting. I'm not going to get into huge detail here, but what you need to know is after Sonic 1 became a massive success, Sega split the development team into 2 groups. Yuji Naka, lead programmer of Sonic 1, moved to the US to work on Sonic 2 at the Sega Technological Institute, while Naito Oshima, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but you can look it up, the character designer of Sonic 1, stayed in Japan to direct Sonic CD. This led to 2 very different approaches to Sonic's gameplay. Sonic 2 focused on speed and momentum-based platforming, while CD introduced a time travel mechanic and way more exploration in the level design. The result was 2 games with very, very different vibes and gameplay. And while Sonic 2 has a story, it's not really necessary to know it to enjoy the game. You've got exactly 2 cutscenes in the entire game. No, I don't count Sky Chase because that is a level. All you need to know is that Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman, is trapping animals to power his robots and building the Death Egg, an orbital space station of destruction. Sonic and Tails? They're here to stop him. This is early 90s, this was passable. And you wouldn't even get this in-game, you'd actually have to read the manual to get this story. There are tons of ways to play Sonic 2 nowadays. The Genesis version is still solid, however you can't save it. And there are way better options, like the mobile version. There's a bunch of compilations that have it, as well as the Sonic Origins collection, which I highly recommend. There's even Sonic 2 Absolute on PC, a fan remake that supports mods, which I highly recommend that version as well. It's awesome, and it's even the version I am using for this review. So without further ado, let me get into why Sonic 2 is freaking awesome. Before we jump in, depending on which version of Sonic 2 you're playing, you can pick Sonic, Tails, or both Sonic and Tails as a team-up. Some ports even add bonus characters like Knuckles and Amy. But for this review, I'm running through the game with Sonic and Tails as a team. That's just the way I prefer to play it. Now we get to the first zone of the game, Emerald Hill. And let me tell you, I've run through this way more times than I've ever gone through Green Hill. I love this zone. Back when I played the game on my original Genesis, you couldn't save your game, so if you lose all your lives, you had to restart the entire game over. So this would be the place where I'd stock up on them, so if I died, it wasn't as big as a deal. Like, literally 90% of the lives I would go through the game on came from this zone here. There are so many hidden secrets here, it's just crazy. The soundtrack, well, it's not the best in the game, but it does fit the vibe of the zone. The tropical island feel, the bright colors, it's just a good track overall. So like I said, there are many in this game I prefer over Emerald Hill. I can't stress enough how many hidden secrets and alternate pathways are in this zone. It's crazy. You think you're blazing through it on the fastest route, then you find a whole nother path that changes the whole way you approach the stage. The level design is just great, and even all these years later, I'm still discovering hidden secrets within it. Now we get to Dr. Robotnik, the first boss fight. And it's at the end of Act 2. Yep, 2 acts per zone instead of 3, like in Sonic 1. So what does Robotnik throw at us? A drill machine car. Why? Granted, this is not his stupidest contraption. We'll get to that when we talk about CD. No idea what he's drilling. Who knows? But this is the man with a 300 IQ, everyone, so I guess there's a reason somewhere. Maybe? Yeah, I can't think of one. Next zone. Next up, we have Chemical Plant Zone. First off, the music. This track is easily one of the best in the game. I'd probably say it's the third, maybe second best. Just listen to it for a second. It has that perfect mix of just funkiness and energy. This zone is all about speed. Pipes, hidden pathways. Just take one look at the map and you'll see how intricate it is. Sometimes you'll even end up outrunning the screen if you're not careful. But for all this fast-paced fun, there's actually this one spot where I got stuck on as a kid. In Act 2, there's this one particular section where I would constantly drown, and if I somehow managed to get out of this section, I'd immediately mess up the platforming. Nowadays, I know a neat trick where if you're going through the pipes on your way to that section, just use your momentum and jump off the pipes. You'll skip the entire thing. Whether this was intentional or not, I have no idea. But it saves me from having to do that section, even though as an adult I can easily do it. Now the boss fight. So I generally wouldn't bring up the boss fights too much, unless there's something to talk about, and there is here. You see, you're jumping on Robotnik's machine while jumping over a giant chemical death pit. If you fall in, it's instant death. Worse yet, Tails sometimes lands the final hit, causing Robotnik to drop before you're ready. And you go right into the pit. I've lost this fight, I can't tell you how many times, because of this stupid... Dadgummit, Tails! You're useful for every section in the game except this. Outside of that, though, this zone is fantastic. This next zone is probably my favorite. I have a really hard time picking one absolute favorite in Sonic 2, but 90% of the time, it's going to be Aquatic Ruin Zone. And the music is the best track in the entire game, hands down. Just listen to it. Now this is this game's water level. But here's the thing, you can actually avoid the water completely if you're good at the game. Even though I played Sonic 2 a ton, I still occasionally end up in the water, but the design makes sure you never stay submerged for too long. And I love the aesthetic of this zone. It has this ancient, forgotten feel, kind of like Marble Zone from Sonic 1, but even more overgrown. The vines, the ruins, the water's creeping in. It really feels like time abandoned this place a long time ago. It's just an amazing zone all around. Well, here we are, Casino Night Zone, aka the moment when Sonic decided to hit Las Vegas. I don't really understand the logic behind this place, but hey, it looks like Las Vegas to me, so I guess Sonic has a gambling problem now. Whatever. The zone is basically slot machines and pinball physics. That's the core of the experience, and honestly, it's pretty cool. And the music here perfectly captures that flashy Las Vegas vibe. The bright neon lights, the bouncing physics, it's all extremely memorable. You really feel like you're stuck in a casino. All the pinball mechanics in this level are fun, chaotic, and surprisingly deep. It's definitely a standout in Sonic 2 experience. But it's not like someone would be dumb enough to make an entire Sonic game based solely on pinball physics. Right? Right? Well, Sonic decided that while he was in the West, he might as well hit the Rocky Mountains. And thus, we get Hilltop Zone. I mean, how else do you explain it? First he's in a casino, now he's running through giant mountains. And wait, dinosaurs? Okay, a lot of people are probably really confused about the literal dinosaurs hanging around here. But I have a theory. You see, during development, the producers of Sonic 2 and Sonic CD were discussing their respective games. At some point, Sonic CD's developer found that the Sonic 2 originally had a time travel mechanic, but it got scrapped. So, what did they do? They threw the time travel concept into the CD instead. I think these dinosaurs might be remnants of that scrapped time travel plot. Maybe Hilltop Zone was originally meant to be a prehistoric zone before the idea got cut. Honestly, by looking at it, I could totally see Hilltop being a prehistoric zone. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Leave in the comments what zones you think would have been past, present, or future zones had Sonic 2 kept the time travel plot. Like, what time period do you think each zone would have been set in? I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. I have a feeling we could have some cool discussions about it. Or even check out the Discord and talk about it. Overall, the zone has some pretty good gimmicks. The music here is very It's honestly probably my least favorite track in the soundtrack. It just doesn't vibe with me, you know? Overall, the Hilltop Zone is an alright zone. Next up, we have the Mystic Cave Zone, which is definitely an interesting one. Some people say it's spooky, but honestly, it just reminds me of the minecart level from Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. Looking at the level design, it really feels like an abandoned mine. The wooden platforms, the rickety bridges, the eerie glow, you get the sense that it was once a bustling Wild West style mine, but time just left it behind. Speaking of the Wild West theme, they really missed an opportunity here. If they wanted the whole western section in the game, where's the saloon level? That would have been awesome! The music here, it's not half bad. It definitely fits the atmosphere well, and overall, the zone is just a fun time. The platforming keeps things engaging, and the whole mine aesthetic makes it stand out, compared to the more traditional Sonic environments. Next up, we have Oil Ocean Zone, which is definitely an interesting one. The music here is very Arabian-inspired, which totally fits the vibe considering a lot of the world's oil comes from that region. Now, I know a lot of people hate the zone. I personally don't. It's not hard. Sure, you can't blast through it at the speed of sound, but if you're like me and can take your time sometimes, it's not a difficult stage at all. Now, a lot of people also don't like the aesthetic of this level. Smog-filled skies, a murky ocean of petroleum. That's oil for all those that are not American or uneducated. Honestly, it really feels like an oil refinery to me. Right down to the endless elevators scattered throughout the level. And these, I think they're manhole covers that get blasted into the air with flames. I don't know why there's seahorses and octopus enemies though. That's just weird. Overall, it's not a bad zone, but it's not a great one either. Let's just say I'm not going to load this zone up too much in Sonic 2 Absolute to play alone as a standalone level. But when I play it through the game, yeah, it's not too bad. Now we get to what has to be the worst part of Sonic 2. The endgame zones. Now, Metropolis Zone, this zone just sucks, okay? I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Through and through, it just sucks. You got cheap enemy placement, huge labyrinthian levels, and they brought back the 3-act structure from Sonic 1. Yep, this is the only zone in the game to have 3 acts in it, making it feel even longer. This zone isn't so horrible that I have to shut off my game console whenever I'm playing it. but it's definitely a low point of Sonic 2. Which sucks, because it's right there near the end. But hey, at least the music here is pretty solid. Honestly, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the weakest zones in the game. It's not horrible, but it's not frustrating. It just really slows things down and just drags on way too much. Now we get to the Sky Chase level, which is Sonic slowly riding on Tails' plane, making their way to the Wing Fortress zone. So, here's the thing. What's the deal with this music? This theme is just weirdly happy and peaceful, and it doesn't fit the theming at all. It's supposed to be leading up to an epic showdown with Dr. Robotnik, where you're going to destroy the Death Egg and save the world. But instead, Sonic's just chilling out in Tails' plane. What? Oh, and here's something that just makes absolutely zero sense. See, when you take out a robot in the air, and that animal doesn't fly, for some reason, they magically get a parachute. As if Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman, aka the same guy stuffing all these animals into robots, actually cares about their safety. Like, sure, he'll shove them into a mechanical death machine, but he'll make sure they land gently when knocked out of the sky. I'm sure that was very high on his priorities list. So once you reach Wing Fortress, the tone shifts dramatically. The music still doesn't fit though. I don't know why, but the music here just screams American military to me. Just listen. I don't know why they put this music here, but okay. And speaking of questionable Eggman staffing choices, this place is being defended by chickens operating turrets. Yep, robot chickens operating turrets. What kind of aviation security training did they get? No idea. But apparently Eggman thought highly of their tactical capabilities. As for the level itself, Wing Fortress Zone sucks. There are death pits everywhere, meaning one bad jump can ruin your run completely. You can skip a decent chunk of the level if you're like me and you know what you're doing. But even then, many times, one dumb mistake can send you right into the abyss. Okay, so at the end of the zone, you fight whatever this contraption is, blow it up, Eggman / Dr. Robotnik decides he's gonna book it to his rocket ship and make it to the Death Egg. Sonic gets the help of Tails, he grabs onto the rocket ship, and apparently has the power to breathe in space. Because, yeah, he ends up going into orbit without a spacesuit and is just fine. Now we get to the final bosses, and these are not only some of the hardest fights in classic Sonic, or in the hardest fights in gaming period for me, but also some of the dumbest boss design choices I have ever seen. First off, you don't get a single ring. That means one hit equals instant death. The mechanics of the first fight are pretty simple, but then comes the Death Egg robot and... So can we just discuss the logic of this scene right here? Eggman, a middle-aged fat dude who isn't exactly in peak physical condition, outruns Sonic the Hedgehog, the supposed fastest thing alive. How? The Death Egg Robot here is where I die more than anywhere else in this game. If I ever lost all my lives in a Sonic 2 run after I beat it for the first time, this pretty much was it every time. Especially in the versions without save states. Even after all these years, I still struggle with this boss. The best strategy I found is if you can get behind it, just bash away. Sonic 2 Absolute actually helps a bit with this fight because of the insta-shield from Sonic 3, which has been introduced into this game, which if you time it right, you can get a lot more hits in than you normally would be able to in the original version. So, this ending, Tails must be the fastest thinking fox alive, because Sonic blows up the Death Egg Robot, and if he doesn't have the Chaos Emeralds, he will then proceed to fall towards the planet. Okay? Tails sees this, then proceeds to run to his plane, start it up, and just so you know, I was in the Civil Air Patrol. Planes aren't like cars. They're extremely complicated and take a long time to get going. He gets that plane, flies it to where Sonic is, and then catches him mid-free fall. I don't understand the logic behind this, but okay, this game is just whack when it comes to logical consistency. So, before I completely wrap up, two things I'll go over real quick is one, special stages, because I have a feeling I'm obligated to do this. So, unlike Sonic 1, where the special stages were absolute acid trips, these are actually kinda alright. You get 50 rings, you go to a checkpoint, and then you jump into the weird little sparkly thing. And then you get taken to the half pipe. I suck at these special stages, but they're not bad. I don't really play them to get the Chaos Emeralds, as I've never gotten all 7 Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 2. I just play them because they're fun. Then there is, of course, a multiplayer. There's a race mode where you can race your friends, and a co-op mode where the second player will take control of Tails. However, I should point out that I didn't get any footage of either of these because I didn't have anyone else to play with around here, so yeah, tough luck there. This was the game I played the most on my Genesis. No matter how rough things got when I was a kid, no matter how bad my childhood was, this was one of those games I could always pick up and have a good time. Now, I'm sure there are plenty of games nowadays I'd rather play over Sonic 2, but I always come back to it, at least once a year, just like I do with Sonic 1. Sometimes more, but guaranteed at least once a year annually. And in my opinion, that's why Sonic 2 is awesome. It's just fun, great gameplay, fantastic music, and honestly, I feel like I'll be coming back to this one for a long time. I'll be leaving links to our Discord in the description. If you want to chat with the Centurion Dragons team, feel free to. That thing's been pretty empty lately, so I would very much like having someone to talk to. If it's not in the description, it'll be in a comment. Yeah, let me know what you think of your thoughts of Sonic 2 in Discord or in the comments. And any memories you have with it? Your favorite zones? Literally anything. I'll be interested in hearing all about it and maybe discussing it with you. This is the Anti-Gamer Slayer, signing off.